Good afternoon everyone and welcome to the third round of the Formula Roblox League World Championship. We're here for round 3 at Pirkanma during qualifying, as qualifying has just gone underway. We already got the train up ahead as we are looking on board from Zero Denial. We've got 15 drivers present in the server right now, a couple of teams who are missing drivers right now, so to those teams, they could potentially get another reserve driver on board. Not sure what's going on with the Avanti team. Okay, so we should see the first flying laps on board soon, as Hartman and Strider are coming around the final corner to set the first laps of this session. Strider with a 1:15.5 and Hartman, who's made a return for this race, half a second off. Zero Denial goes fastest right now with a 1:15.4. ROBLOX goes third. Andy goes fastest, half a second faster than second place with a 1:14.9. Andy showing a lot of speed. Ten drivers currently have a time on the board, with Sever setting a banker time, 1.8 seconds of the pace. I'm pretty sure he can improve on that one. As he goes back to the pits to start a new lap, we see Doge about to set a second lap time and he went slower in the first sector, but faster in the second sector. Let's see what he can do here, as Jabil's also almost done with his lap. Jabil does not have a lap yet on the board, so it would be his first flying lap. We can see Andy, that's a mistake from Doge, so that's not going to be a good lap, and he abandons it as well. Jabil's about to cross the line. Let's see what he can do from P13. He goes 9 fastest, 9/10 of P1. Obviously Doge coming back out the pits. No one's on the lap right now. Sever's in the pits. Don't see any colored sectors right now, so we're going to have to wait and see who is going to be the first one to set lap time. One more driver has joined the session, as we're going to look on board with Hartman for the remainder of this lap. So it's also green in sector 1. Hartman, of course, he said he was very busy in real life, so that's why he hasn't been attending the races, the reigning champion, but he's back for this round to help out his team, which he was originally going to drive together with Andy, the Season 2 champion, in the same team for this season. But unfortunately, Hartman is unable to attend all the races, but he is here for today, and let's see what the reigning champion can do as he comes around the final 2 corners. Let's see, can he keep it on the black stuff? Yes, he can. Running up to the line, what can he do? Slow in sector 2, but he improves to 9th. Set with a purple second and third sector, goes second, only a 10th behind Andy. Zero Denial's looking to improve his lap time as well. He goes 2/10 faster, but does not gain any positions. Somas on the lap right now. Blaze Crab is almost done with his lap. Let's see, is he going to improve his lap time? No, he isn't. He does not improve his lap time, I think, at least. At least he doesn't gain any positions. Isomus going through sector 2. This corner is flat out a very tricky corner to get right. It's easy to miss your steering point and then the car just understeers wide, which is something you don't want. Isomus going for the final two corners of the track. You want to keep it tight for this U-turn to open up for the final corner, get a good run. Running up to the line, what's Isomus going to do? He improves by 2/10 and jumps up 1 position, zero denial. Seems to might be improving. Kobakins with 2 green sectors might be improving as well. Let's see what he can do. He moves up 2 places to P7. Zero denial about to finish his lap as well. So is Jabil with 2 green sectors. Let's see what he can do. But first, let's watch Zero Denial. Can he challenge for pole position? Ooh, he got a lot closer though. He gained the position, but still half a tenth away from the provisional pole sitter. ND, Doe's about to cross the line. So is Jabil, who we see in the red car up ahead. Jabil moves up to 10th place. Doe stays put, does not improve his lap time in the Avanti car. And that's everyone done on the lap. Now we're waiting for everyone to complete that. That's again for Robloxian, the only one being on a flying lap right now. Actually, I'm wrong. He's together with Tash the Mash, who's also on a lap. Let's see how they get on their respective laps. Both trying to set a good lap time for Robloxian, running very wide, but just about avoiding the hard slowdown. Tash slowly surging ahead, but Robloxian taking using a little bit more space, able to gain some time back through the left-hander. Now, we see both drivers take a very different line. Robloxian going for a late apex, but he runs a bit wide, carry too much speed into the final corner, and that's his lap abandoned. Tash the Mash, meanwhile, goes 5th fastest, only 2.5 tenths away from ND, and saying the exact same lap time as Isomus. Mochi going purple in the 2nd sector in the Swift Papaya car. Let's see if he can challenge for pole position. Swift Papaya running a one-off livery, by the way. Looking good. But Mochi, what's he going to do? He puts it only 6th with that purple sector. So good lap time though. Hartman goes 7th, and that's his qualifying session almost over. I think he can go back to the pits, get out again, doing out lap and start another lap before the time runs out. Who can't do that though is Strider here, who is currently sitting in 9th place. Strider, you might also know him as ROBLOX Gaming, as he changed his username. He runs up to the line. Is he going to improve? Yes, he does, the 6th place. And wow, I'm pretty sure we had this last week as well, but there are 3 drivers with the exact same lap time. Perez 97 all over again, with Isomus, Tash the Mash and Strider all setting the exact same lap time within a thousandth of a second. That's very impressive. Now we are watching Kobakins going through the 2nd sector right now. He keeps it, runs a little bit wide maybe, but should not mess up his momentum too much. Blaze Grab goes up into 8th position, and that is going to put an end to his qualifying session. Strider is finished as well. He won't be able to complete a lap, get around the track again to start a new lap. Jabil's about to set a lap time. Is he going to improve his position? Kobakins jumps up into 8th position, gains a handful of spots. Good job by him. Jabil improves by a little bit, but it's not going to yield him that much. He's only half a second away from pole position, to be fair, but he's down in 12th position. That's how competitive this survey is. Strider is going to abandon his lap. Let's see who else might be on the lap. Tash Jamas is on the lap. Svet is on the lap. He is carrying on though, so maybe he is in a good final sector despite having 2 red sectors. He goes purple, but does not improve his lap time, despite going fastest in the final sector. Then we got Mochi, who is also not too far away from the 3 Musketeers ahead of him. Tash Jamas also might be improving his lap time. He's in the 3rd sector now. slower in Sector 1, faster in Sector 2. What is he going to do in Sector 3? Also keep an eye out on FRL Tash comes in. What's FRL going to do? 2 green sectors. He can really use an improvement to his lap time. What is he going to be doing? He jumps up to 10th place, respectable. Mochi going purple in the second sector. This could be interesting. He is it looks certain that he's going to improve his lap time. He negotiates the final corner well. Could Mochi surprise us and take pole position as he runs up to the line? And he goes fastest with a 1:14.8. Mochi snatches pole position in the last sector, after what has been an exciting qualifying session once again in the FRL Division 1 Championship. And there we go, folks. Here are the results from qualifying, as the race will get underway in just under a minute. Here we are lining up for the start of this race. Mochi in pole position, Andy Gaming the championship leader, the man who has won all 2 races so far this season. Starting in second place, Andy yet to take a pole position though, so only managed second, his best qualifying result being second place. But now let's watch the race start as lines have gone out. Everyone getting away nicely from the grid, with Mochi leading the pack heading into turn 1, missing the apex ever so slightly, which is allowing 2 cars to get past. Not a great start from Mochi. Andy Gaming and Zero Denial now very close together as they both want to try to get into the lead and get that clean air, because dirty air is certainly going to play a role around this track. As there's a lot of corners here that can barely take flat out. So if you get in dirty air, you're going to have to lift off for some corners, which I'm pretty sure is going to catch some people out during this race. So clean air is crucial. We already see one car running very wide. The black-pink car of Isomers running very wide. I think he just managed to keep it within track limits, not to get a severe slowdown. And so now we see 4 cars breaking away ever so slightly from the rest of the pack, with Zero Denial leading from Andy Gaming, from Zvet, and all that the Mochi, the pole sitter, having dropped a few places down to 4th place, with Tash and Mash trying to play catch up in 5th place. So Denial doing really well in the opening stage of the race. Let's look at the rest of the packing order. We've got our top 4. We've Tash and Mash in 5th place. Slat Ice, we're currently also fastest lap. It's of course lap 1, so the fastest lap doesn't mean anything right now. Isomers in 7th. Strider, or ROBLOX, who's using an alt, I've been told, for today's race. So I'm going to call him Astro. Who is currently in 7th place. Then we've got Kobakins in 8th, Blaze in 9th, Proxy in 10th, Doge 11th, Jabil 12th, Hartman, who seems to be struggling in the early stage of the race, in 14th, exchanging positions at the back, now moving up into 12th place, so close stuff at the back. Andy, who runs very wide, meanwhile, too wide, where there's a new slowdown zone if you run too wide there, which is different from a public game. It's because in previous seasons, you could run very wide there and barely lose time, but now you can't do that anymore. And in case you didn't know, the drivers have been informed about this way in advance. It's an update that has been published and announced at the start of the week, so all drivers should be aware of the changes that have been made to this track in order to enforce track limits. So unfortunately, Andy has become victim of that and finds himself down in 6th place, with Zvet currently leading the way, with Mochi right behind. So close. Oh, that's Bake is running very wide, and that's another new slow zone that has been added to the track, where if you run over a car with wide, if you go So there's some leniency with the new track limits. It's not like you go slightly wide to get a strong slowdown. No, if you run extra wide, which means, in this case, means if you run at least one car with wide, you get that extra slowdown, because we don't want cars want to punish cars that run too wide, and it's to enforce track limits a bit more. So now we see Cobacon's becoming victim of that, dropping a few places. We see a battle going on for 4th place between ND, Zero Denial, who's also dropped back a little bit, and Robloxian. ND once again running way too wide and getting another strong slowdown. Again, being another... That's 3 out of 4 corners we've seen now with the new with the increased slowdown intensity, as Astro also cuts a corner and drops back into 10th place. As we're now heading on to lap 4 of the race, let's have a look at the tyre compounds. We see a lot more cars running on soft tyres this time around compared to last time, as there has been, as well as changes to the track limits, there have been changes to the tyre compounds, as the medium and hard compounds don't have as much wear as they had before. They wear faster now compared to the softs. Softs haven't been changed. But the mediums and hards have got an increased tire wear, so which is going to do things. It's going to, for one, make the softs more of a viable strategy, as we see Robloxian making a massive mistake, running very wide out of that corner. Lots of understeer. As Robloxian drops all the way back to 9th place, but as I was saying, so as a consequence of the changed updated compounds, which are now different from the public game, as the FRL place is starting to become more independent from the public game, we see more people running the soft compound tires, while at the same time some cars could be looking into, could be considering doing a 2-stopper in this race, because there's simply much more tire wear this time around than in previous races. Let's have a look at the front. Zved is leading the way by quite a bit, with Tash in 2nd place, right to chase down. Then we've got Mochi in 3rd, Zero Denial in 4th place. We've got Andy in 5th, Sad Ice in 6th. Looks like there's less battling going on than last time. Could be the dirty air doing its work, being more intense, which makes it harder to follow. And he seems to be having some lag issues. He's clearly struggling in this race. I think he just made another mistake, which isn't good. He won the first 2 races as we speak. Heading into this round, he's got a 13-point lead over Slad Ice, who is sitting in 5th place right now. So his rival not doing the greatest either. Not sure if this is a track issue for ND, if he struggled in the past around here. Let's see what he did last season around this track. Let's have a look. We were also here at Becoma last season for round 3. Let's see what he did, how ND performed there last time out. He got 2nd with Hartman winning that race last season. But we see both the top 2 from last season struggling currently in this season, with Hartman all the way down in 13th. Getting season 2 vibes here, where Hartman was also struggling while having won after winning the title in the previous season, which is really unfortunate to see. I was hoping at the start of the season to see both ND and Hartman at the top of the games, fighting out across all the season, which looked like we had a teaser in season 3 where they went back and forth in the first few rounds, but then ND dripped, unfortunately, missed some rounds, had a DNF, and which effectively handed Hartman the title, as he was the dominant force that season. Oh, that's a corner cut from Cobacon's right there. That is going to cost him 2 positions. got a battle going on for 6th place between ND and ROBLOX. Oh, ND once again. Oh, that's once again a slowdown right here. Running too wide out of that corner. Really struggling here. He drops down to 8th place now. As we've got...
just come in.
Yes, I was...
Tash just come in for his pit stop, so... Could he be going for hards? Or is he just gonna...
He started in the soft, so let's see what tires he's going to put on. He's
on the hard.
He's on hard, so is he going to try to go all the way to the end of the race? Because I actually am not sure if that's a viable option. He might go for a 2-stop. If you start on the softs, you might have to go for a 2-stop here. I'm not so sure. He comes out in last, so he's the first car to pit. Meanwhile, there's a battle going on for second place between Mochi and Zero Denial, heading into the fast chicane, nearly flat out in dirty air. You might have to lift off a little bit, or if you are on the worn tires, got Mochi trying to get past Zero Denial. This is a very understeery corner, very tricky corner to get right. As Svet, I think he made a mistake. Yes, he did. As this battle for second has now turned into a battle for first place. As Svet lost a lot of time by making a mistake, which has now promoted Mochi to first and Zero Denial to second.
And also, not to mention, you also have a battle for 10th place between 4 drivers, and that is both Scudero Squadron drivers and Hartman and the Jabil. As the
Zero and Svet both in the pits. Svet on softs again.
That's interesting. Could be going on the 2-stop. Oh, Mochi gets a corner cut. That is not. That's not what you want.
No, that might cost him first place once he makes a pit stop. But Sven on the softs, I'm pretty sure that means he's committing to a 2-stop here. Interesting to see. Meanwhile, Zero Denial is in the hard he's chosen to go in the hard compounds. I believe he also starts on the soft compound, just like Tash and Mash, who has jumped both drivers and is now virtually leading the race effectively. Because I think if if everyone pits, Tash will be in the lead.
And also, not to mention, DS FedEx DVD and Tash were battling for the lead. SIC Tash go a little wide right there at the exit, but he keeps it clean throughout that 90-degree corner, so it's all good for him.
And they're catching up to the back markers. No back markers. They're just yet to pit. Tash going very wide. A lot of people. There are a lot of people falling victim to the new track corner cut changes that have been made. What do you make of that, Wolf?
When I first heard of the announcement, I didn't really like it at all, because it just really slows it down and it really affects your lap in a very huge way. And the big slowdowns give you 65 kilometers an hour, and while I believe the all the lighter slowdowns give you 130 kilometers an hour at max. SIC Axel go wide, and that's gonna allow Zero to get past Axel. Is the SYD gonna get past Axel at the S's?
We've got a battle going on for third place between Strider or Astro and Andy.
Astro trying to find a way through, but I don't think there's any way through. As Strider, he is actually gonna go into the hairpin. Down the inside he goes. It's gonna do it. They're still going through each other, but it's hard to tell. But based on the leaderboard, Andy is still in third place, as Strider's gonna get the slipstream of Andy going into turn 1.
Ooh, just keeping him within track limits. He may have had a little bit of a worse exit, but he's staying ahead of Astro for now, heading into the chicane. It's great to see how close I can get to that inside wall without touching it. It's great driving.
It looks like Harmon, he's making a good recovery drive. He's now in 8th place as Jabil sets a personal first sector. Could he set a purple or he's just gonna set a personal best as yeah, Andy and Astro still going at it, going into going uphill.
Ooh,
Oh,
that's
Skylar and
Astro.
Andy goes wide.
That's Astro gone. Running too wide.
And Doge gets past Astro for 4th place as yes, Astro for a very big mistake right there.
Oh, Jabil's retired.
Oh
From
no,
P7.
Jabil has retired. So yeah, so Jabil's race has actually ended early for whatever reason. He probably has to go or something because and look at this 5-way battle for 7th place. Wow. So Zero is currently leading the pack from Hartman as he gets overtaken by both DSFX DFD and Hartman with a slowdown there is gonna cost him 8th place to DSFX DFD and he has both Squadra drivers right behind him.
Yeah, I saw Sever going wide, coming out of the hairpin, which has cost him a place, which has allowed Seaman to get by. Sever just keeping within the track limits now, so is Blaze Scrap. Ooh, running a bit wide Blaze Scrap is. Might allow his teammate to get back at him if he's not careful. Meanwhile, we've got ROBLOX and Tash just behind who've already made their pit stops. We see Stanice and Andy close together on track still if we're looking at the Delta. No one else coming into the pit lane. So it looks like most drivers are actually going ahead and doing a 2-stop this round compared to, or a 1-stop I mean. While for Bloxian and everyone behind him who have already made a pit stop, they are seemingly coming to a 1-stop. I'm sorry, that includes Zero Denial and Svet as well.
Looks like Andy's made 3 doors and I think he's made a mistake, so that's gonna allow Doge to get past Andy for 3rd place. As he's gonna try to fend off Doge, but I don't think that's possible because he just made a mistake. As Andy tries to go down the inside again, but he goes very, very wide. So another mistake made by the former world champion and the championship leader. Could this be a champion's curse? Because I've noticed that the reigning world champions have a very bad season, while their rivals have a good one. So, could this be a reigning champion's curse?
It could be, but I'm not sure what's going on with Andy. He has won last race again, making a mistake. What is for certain, I think, is he's not in a good flow right now. He keeps making mistakes, and I don't want to make assumptions. I don't want to make assumptions, but really seems he's ended up in this cycle, in this loop of making mistakes. There's this point where you're just not in the right mood after making mistakes, and that's when you get in a negative zone, essentially. It's hard to explain, but I've experienced it in sim racing as well, where if you start making mistakes, you're going to start thinking to yourself, please don't make another mistake, and that's where you go you are no longer on autopilot, and that's when you become uncertain of when you turn into corners and how you take corners, and that's going to make you make more mistakes. I think that's something Andy might be in. Don't like to make assumptions. He was complaining about some lag earlier on this race, but doesn't look like his car's getting any sort of slowdown lag at least. So yeah, it's not one for sure.
And also, Andy, I believe he's the only driver without a racing line. I don't think the car has the racing line on in the Formula Roblox game or in the FRL Racing place. So yeah, it's pretty impressive of Andy to win the championship without any help from the racing line. So, and Andy trying to break the slipstream, and he has caught up to Doge already. So yeah, really impressive first sector for him. As they're going through the S's, is Andy gonna get Doge? No, he's not, but he's closing up ever so slightly, going into the left-hander, and he has to level quite a bit, and he goes past Doge for third place. What a move by Andy. Oh, Andy!
He just avoided that slowdown. Got frighteningly close to another big slowdown, but that shows you can run a little bit wide, but not too wide. We see wow, that's Avanti card running too wide. That's way too wide. Stowe's got a massive slowdown from that. That's going to cost him dearly.
I also thought Andy's car just went through the ground. That scared me quite a bit. You don't usually see that kind of things happen in the Formula Roblox game, or even in the as Andy goes wide, as I just mentioned about Andy's car going through the ground and then going back to normal again. As Andy, he does not want to give third place up.
He's been passed by Svet, who remember has already made one pit stop, so maybe Svet is the right strategy with that 2-stop. He presumably is doing, as a lot of cars are yet to pit. We're past the halfway point. I'm surprised that a lot of people are yet to make their first pit stop of the race.
The top two on hards. Even though with the nerf of the hard tires, I think they still might be going for hard mediums. Who knows? It's anyone's strategy, and they could play their cards really well. As we see, right behind Zero Denial with almost braking late, trying to get
Svet
past.
coming in, so is Andy. They're both going in for a for the final pit stops. Let's see what tires Andy's going to. He was on hards. It looks like he's going on mediums. Yeah, Svet is going on mediums as well, I think. Yes, they're both going on mediums until the end of the race. Svet on the 2-stop, making a second pit stop, and Andy only is first. So now they are on equal footing.
I mean, from what Bacon said, I believe, I think he said once that the mediums are gonna last 2 laps shorter than from the usual tire life of the yellow wall tires, which is the mediums. So yeah, there's some mathematics coming into play as Slat Eyes comes out in P6S, and Mochi's still out.
Just had another slowdown. And now Tash is going to get... Oh no! Tash also getting a slowdown, running way too wide out of the corner.
And the leader comes in. The leader is in for his possibly one and only stop. Is he gonna go on the medium tire? Is he gonna do the copycat strategy that Slat Eyes done? Because yeah, he is racing racing Slat Eyes.
He's gone onto the soft tires. Okay. Interesting, since the cars around him, Svet for example, he has gone onto the mediums and only stopped 1 lap earlier. So split strategies at play here. Mochi making his first pit stop, while Svet making his second pit stop of the race.
I mean, he could be going for the fastest lap of the race. You wouldn't know who's going for fastest lap or just playing for strategy.
That's also a factor. You could try to squeeze in a soft synth into your strategy in order to try to set a fast lap of the race. That's a good one. But Mochi is looking really strong right now. Tash has already made a pit stop as well, but he's been out for longer. Let's see what the gap is from him to Mochi. It's only 2-ish seconds. So this could be interesting. I think Zero is also still out there, 7.5 seconds up the road. I'm not sure what tires he's on. I assume he's on the hards. Yes, he is. But I forgot for how long he is out on track right now. This could all come together towards the end of the race. But we have to wait, see, and find out how that will go.
And Mochi, he could be showing why he is the division that he could show why he is a Division 2 champion, as we see Tash and Doge squabbling out for second place. As I see Doge go a little wide, Mochi, he is really closing in ever so slightly, and I think he's in the slipstream. As Mochi goes purple, there's no surprise, but he has to lift off at the S's. You go at about 330 kilometers an hour approximately. As Tash gets a corner card right there. That's gonna prove costly for Tash the Mash as he surrenders second place to Doge and surrenders third place to Mochi as well, as Mochi gets a red second sector, so he has also a lot of time. But can he get the dive bomb into the left-hander? Yes, he can. That's a huge dive bomb from Oda the Mochi. Really, really good move from Mochi as he goes up into second place. Could that be a faster lap despite the red second sector? Is it? No, it's not. So he has to go again. He has to go again. But he has set a green third sector though, so
yeah, we could try again, even though his tires are going to be a bit more worn at this point. That's what we can do. Negotiating the chicane very nicely, heading into turn 5. Using all the space available once again. Let's look on board with Mochi for a little bit, shall we?
Oh, Mochi's on red sector again. So
yeah, might not become a new fastest lap, but we'll see.
Mochi through the S's, keeping it within track limits, using all the space that the S's has given. And that's a good left-hander right there, as he's going to go uphill. Doesn't know why he keeps it clean, and
Green.
gets a personal. As he gets a personal second sector. He's got a break about 75 meters before.
Oh, Tash is retired.
Oh no, Tash is retired. Oh no, that is a disaster. Oh no, that is not what Tash wants. He was battling for the pole position.
Oh, zero's in for his second pit stop. He's coming out onto the soft tires, but he's going to be almost a pit stop behind Mochi. So Zero did look like he was going to be able to hang on, go all the way with the hard tires. And now he has to fight back from 5th place. 12 seconds behind Mochi. It could still be feasible for 09 to make up that deficit, but it's going to be a big ask, isn't it?
Oh, looks like Mochi, he's seeing the chat that he's winning, but no, Mochi, not too fast. You haven't won yet. You still have 8 laps to go. Do not ever be complacent when you're racing, because you will never know when you're going to lose first place to someone else. So Mochi, he's being a bit complacent as of now. So Mochi did not do that during races. As also, I also want to talk about the championship. Slada is in second place. He's 13 points behind Andy. Andy is currently in 4th place, but he has an extra 2 points because he got second place. So Andy's gonna get 12 points, but if it stands this way, and Slada is gonna get 15 points. So the gap's gonna close by 3 points, which is
not that much.
Still not enough. Yeah, not by much, but at least it is something to close up the championship. So at least it's better than losing points to your championship rival.
Yeah, Mochi was leading the race. He's yet to finish a race actually, and then to come to think of it, so he's really far down the order. He's only got 2 points in his name from getting second in qualifying in the previous round. Who else do we have towards the top? We've got Astro in 3rd. In this race, he is in 6th place under the Strider V10 name. We've got ROBLOX in 4th, who is in 7th right now, holding the fastest lap, but also not really doing much. So the good thing for ND is that all his rivals are not doing that great either.
Except for Slide Eyes.
Except for Slide Eyes, who's doing alright in 2nd, but Again, as you said, he's not going to gain too many points, so this seems to be, in the end, for Andy, this would
and
be...
he's got one position. And Zero sets the fastest lap with 114.8. I think that's about the same time as what Mochi has done, or it could be a few hundreds faster. Let me go and check.
Zero could
The
still get second here. He's only he's only about 3 seconds behind P2, which is currently Sladai. So, and considering he's on fresh tires, Svet looked like he made a mistake. He's already going to get Svet for 3rd place here, going down the back straight, downhill.
And he gets the FXDD for 3rd place, and he is showing why he is the former Division 3 European Cup champion. And can Zero fend off the SFX Can he fend off the former Division 2 champion? Looks like he can fend off the Division 2 World Champion, but DSX he is not gonna give that up. As they go side by side, going through each other, going to the left-hander. Oh, Zero goes wide, and that's gonna allow DSX to have a slight advantage of acceleration. But Zero keeps his but Zero keeps calm and collected, as Zero could well make the move stick as they go into turn 1.
Yeah, I think it's done deal for Zero. The next target for him will be Sladai, so he's only 2 seconds up the road. I think he's going to get second here, unless Mochi makes significant mistakes. Because I think Sladai is also slowly closing in on Mochi, so yeah, who knows if Mochi can hang on to the win here. Sladai with a personal best sector 1, so Sladai's clearly still got some pace, got some good pace going, so this might not be over yet. Even though it's looking very good for Mochi right now, with a 6-second lead.
Oh, Sladai has a purple. He has a green first sector. As Zero with their fresh off tires has the fastest lap. Oh, that's almost a slowdown right there. That is really, really dangerous. He almost got that big slowdown, which could potentially cost him 4th place, as he is already caught up to Sladai. So that soft tires is working a treat for Zero, as he brakes very late again and goes slightly wide. Oh, the SFX DFD will slow down, I believe, through that final corner. That's gonna prove very, very costly for SFX DFD, and that could be 3rd place slipping away from his hands, as Andy is right behind he's right behind the SFX DFD. And Astro...
Mochi has extended the gap again, so looks like Mochi's got this under control. Oh, Sladai's made a mistake. That's going to allow Zero now to get past and up into 2nd place. There he goes, up into 2nd. With only Mochi ahead of him, but Mochi is looking very strong to take the win with just 3 laps to go in this race. Let's see, looking further back, we've got... Everyone seems to be pretty spread out right now. We've got ROBLOX in 7th, Strider in 6th. Or Astro, I should say.
Mochi is currently 17th in the championship because he's got 2 points, as from 18th to last, no one has got points. So Mochi is gonna get a huge jump in the championship with 29 points to his name.
Oh, we've got Bacon's closing in onto Robloxian for 7th place here. Bacon's on the softs, while Roxian is on the mediums, I think. No, they're both on the mediums, never mind that. Scratch everything I just said. With those not too far behind either.
And also Astro, he's less than a second behind Andy. Could he be taking 5th place away from Andy and help his fellow compatriot close the championship by a few points? Well, he already is. Oh, I think Astro had to lift off a bit there because of the dirty air. But he's gonna get a huge amount of slipstream going.
Oh, Bacon's just got to slow down, which has allowed those to get past for 8th place. Blazecrab has fallen back. Robloxian seems to have gone away, so that battle's pretty much done and dusted for now. So let's now focus on the battle for 5th place.
As Astro, he's less than half a second behind. Oh, he goes a little wide. It goes a little wide. As Andy keeps it clean. Astro has to take a wide line going into the uphill corner. So that's gonna prove a little costly for. Oh no! And there's 8/10 taken away from Astro. And that's proven really costly as
that might secure 5th place for Andy here. Big mistake from Astro right there. Running too wide.
As Mochi... Oh, Mochi was slow down. But I don't think that's gonna be enough for Zero to catch up and win the race.
That gap has come down quite a bit, hasn't it?
Oh, but then he instantly gains it back. So really impressive from Mochi.
I think Zero might have made a mistake as well, not too sure though.
So, yeah, as I can see Zero in the background, so Mochi better not make any more mistakes. If he makes one more mistake, who knows? Zero might be closing in and take the victory away from Mochi. So, as he's just about half a lap left, Mochi had his second win in the FRL World Championship taken away because of that flip at New Jersey. But Mochi, he's just have 2 more corners to go. Going through the hairpin, he takes it well. Going through the final corner. Oh, there the Mochi. He has taken victory in Finland. He wins round 3 of the FRL World Championship. Really great drive from Mochi. Zero Denial finishes in a strong 2nd place. Sadai's finishes on the podium. And he secures 5th place. So, oh, Blaze Crab has just made a mistake, and that's gonna allow Bacons to get 9th place, and Blaze Crab is gonna finish the top 10. Hartman, his first race in season 4, finishes 11th place in 11th. Seba, he's going to get the final points paying position. He's gonna be in the final points paying position as he finishes in P12, and Axel's gonna be finishing in last place.
Yes, and that will conclude this race. Mochi with a very dominant drive in this race with Zero Denial. Good comeback to stop. Didn't really work out for him, unfortunately. So he could not secure the win. And yeah, that will do it for this race. Here you can see the results. And we will... So we're going to let you have a look at those results. And besides that, we will see you at the next round. Thank you for watching today's stream. We will see you tomorrow for the Division 3 West race, which will be streamed for the first time this season. Stay tuned for that. Division 2, meanwhile, will be happening in about 25 minutes off stream. So keep an eye out. Join our Discord if you want to stay up to date with all the latest news, updates, and race results. And we'll see you tomorrow for Division 3. Have a nice day. Goodbye.